welcome back, bitch. Today we are in a new fucking setup because things are going down in this house. Just bought a fucking gym bench thing, I don't know, thingy-majigger, so we can work out and be fit. But because of the new setup in the studio, things are a little bit chaotic. Yeah, that's really bad. Today's video is going to be another story time. We're gonna go grab a snack and we're gonna talk about this story time that is interesting. So unfortunately for me, not that unfortunately for you because you don't probably care, but I have almost been arrested twice now. If you haven't seen part one of the time I was almost arrested, I would suggest you go watch it. I'll insert a little tag up here or something. As I've mentioned before on this channel, I actually had friends. At one point in my life, I had friends and we would go out and we would have fun and do crazy shit. Like the cool kids we were. One day, my cousin is coming over for a sleepover. She gets home and we didn't really have a lot of plans. She wasn't feeling like her best, so it wasn't like we were gonna go out to a bar or something. And it was sort of magical because all of a sudden I got a text from my friend who we're gonna call Kurt. I got a message from Kurt and he tells me, hey, I'm gonna throw a carne asada at my place. Are you down to join us? And I said, hell yeah, bitch. If there's beer or any kind of alcohol, I'm not really picky, I'm in. So he tells us, okay, just be ready and I'll pick you guys up at whatever time. I can't remember what time he picked us up. I ask him who else is coming to this party and he tells me it's just the crew. Now, the crew consisted of Kurt, myself, and our friend Cameron. His name's not really Cameron, I'm just making up names. And our other friend, Liesel. So whatever, we get all the supplies, Cameron comes and he brings the meat. I think Liesel brought some alcohol, some Malibu, which that shit smacked. We put in like some money towards the supplies and shit. So we didn't bring anything specifically, but we pitched in. And it's a fun ass environment, bitch. Like that shit was spot on. Now, we weren't planning to stay at Kurt's place that long, and we definitely weren't planning to spend the night because I promised my mother I would take care of my cousin, and I told her, no, like, I'll bring her home safe and sound, and we'll be here, and everything will be cool. And if we had spent the night, I would have probably gotten my ass whooped. Before we know it, it was like 4 in the morning already, and we're like, shit, time really does fly when you're drunk. So, whatever, we tell everyone, like my cousin and I, we tell everyone like, hey bitches, like it's been a great ass time. I've had the time of my life, but I cannot stay. I got to go. I pull out my little phone and the Ubers are expensive as hell. Ridiculously expensive. Now I know we weren't necessarily close, like we were kind of far away, but I'm talking about 600 peso like Ubers. Like that shit was insane. Now the other thing was that everybody was drunk. Like Cameron, Kurt, Liesel, they drive, but they were all drunk and they couldn't drive, obviously. The one that was kind of coming to his senses and kind of like plummeting down was Kurt. He was, you know, an older guy, and so he was like the most grounded and like the most like sane and like composed out of all of us. So when he sees that like my cousin and I are desperately trying to get our asses home, he goes, well, you know, maybe I can take you guys home, but like I'm kind of scared to. And we're like, bitch, why? I'll give you gas money. And he goes, no, it's not that. It's just, you know, there's Doritos and I'm really just scared I'll get pulled over. Now, I don't know what they're called in any other part of Mexico or the world or anything, but when you talk about Doritos in Guadalajara, you're talking about the cops, the little piggies. I get it, you know? So he was concerned and I was like, no, like, listen, I'll just wait it out a little bit more and we'll get an Uber or something. Like, we'll figure that shit out. Cameron butts in and he's like, nah, bro, like, let's just go drop him off. Nothing's gonna happen. I'll be right next to you. I'll tell you, like, I'll be on the lookout. I'll tell you if I see something, like, everything will be chill. We'll take some mazapanes because in case you don't know it, drunk tip for you, if you eat a mazapan after drinking, it can like reduce or just completely vanish your alcoholic breath. Just saying. Kurt actually goes, you know what, fuck it, like I'll just do it, you know, like I'll take you guys home. I'd rather you guys get home safe than you guys going in an Uber at like 4 in the morning and it's super like risky and stuff. And obviously in the front driving is Kurt, and then on the passenger seat it's Cameron. On the back it's Liesel, my cousin, and I. And this is a very important setup. I'm not just saying this to like add in fluff or anything. Whatever, we get going and everything is fine coming out of Kurt's neighborhood. Like everything's like chill. There's nothing like weird. We don't see any cop or anything. We're going down the street and there's a torito like up on the left side of the road. Cameron does his fucking job and he goes, Kurt, careful, there's a motherfucking torito out there and we're probably gonna get stopped. So Cameron tells him, listen, go into the gas station, like if you're gonna get gas, and then wait it out for a little bit and then just go on to this other street, like, because I don't know how to explain this. So here's a car, there's a fucking cops right there, there's a gas station, and obviously if you go into the gas station and come out the other end, you can go into the other street and just go around and everything's cool. But my homie Kurt was freaking the fuck out. Without thinking twice, he fucking U-turns and goes into the fucking like little alley street thing instead of going through the gas station, stopping, like playing it off, and then oh my god, it was so chaotic. I knew the second he did that fucking U-turn that our asses were doomed. Like no one had to tell me. I was drunk as fuck and I still in my mind knew that we were fucking screwed. Looked like out of a straight ass fucking movie, because as soon as we start heading down the alley, a fucking cop is like coming to us in the other direction and they kind of just like block everything so we can't go anywhere, and they get out of the car and I was like, Lord, I don't want to go to jail again. Kurt gets out of the car and so does Cameron, and they start talking to the policemen. It was 2 policemen and 1 police lady. All of a sudden, the cop lady turns to Kurt and she goes, roll down your windows. She was being like super aggressive, and I totally get it, but it was just like very intimidating. Kurt goes to the car, he rolls down the windows, and she sees 3 frightened, drunk, confused ass females in the back. She goes, do you guys know these guys? Like, are you guys safe? Have you guys been drinking? And we're like, yeah, we know them. Yeah, like we've been drinking, but it's all good. And she goes, okay, I'm gonna need IDs from you two. And she points to my cousin and I, and Liesel's sitting there like, bitch, do you just call me old? And the cop goes, no, like, I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything. It's just that you two specifically look very young and I'm just very concerned for your safety. While this is all happening, Kurt and Cameron are still out there, like, with the fucking policemen, trying to talk them out and convince them that they weren't drinking. And then the cop lady is a fucking smart ass, because she goes, by this time the windows were rolled down and we were like, paying more attention to what was going on outside, and Kurt and Cameron are like, no, we weren't drinking, like everything's cool. And the police lady goes, oh yeah, is that why you guys have mazapanes in your car? It's not to hide your breath or anything now, is it? Now Kurt and Cameron could have pulled it off. I'm pretty sure they could have, because we didn't have alcohol like with us. Like, I don't even think we smelled of alcohol that much. I don't know, I feel like it could have been pulled off, but Kurt is a fucking like nerve wreck. And he immediately after the cop says that, he goes, oh yeah, no, like I was drinking some wine. And we're like, Kurt, motherfucker. The cop hears that. She obviously goes, okay, everyone, like, you're done. This is it. This is your end. You're done. But this time they were a little more understanding. You know what? Either we take your car and you guys are stranded here, you guys might face like a really huge fine, or you guys can give us 2,000 pesos and we'll be out of your hair. Yep, that's right. Mexican police, Mexican law enforcement. Cameron pulls out his wallet and he goes, you know what? We'll just pay it off. And he paid the 2,000 peso fine. And the cop's like, okay, well, you know what? Aquí no ha pasado nada. You guys can go. Obviously, we didn't continue towards our destination at that point because, I mean, we survived one torito, but two, like, further down, no, probably not. And we sat there in his car till about 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and then we headed to my place. He dropped us off. Now, the douchey thing about this is that I never paid Cameron or Kurt their money, and I do feel bad, I'm not gonna lie, but then, you know, Cameron ended up doing some really shady shit, so I was like, you know what, we're even. But, you know, that's a story for another time. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, because my story times are insane. Feel free to also follow me on social media like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, because sometimes I post some stupid shit on there too. Anyways, guys, that'll be all for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.